This astronaut returned from space with his DNA totally changed. A year in space can be enough time to suffer permanent changes in your DNA, and this has been proven by NASA, which is part of an experiment called Twin Studies, has had Scott Kelly almost a year in the International Space Station. On their return, they have contrasted that their DNA is no longer exactly the same. After spending a total of 340 days in space, astronaut Scott Kelly returned to Earth in March 2016 and melted into a hug with his twin brother Mark. Scott ended with this embrace a space mission integrated into a study known as the Twin Study, which aimed to discover what happens to the human body after a year of floating in microgravity. Since both brothers were identical, they were the two best subjects for NASA to compare the evolution suffered by the one against the other. All this is to determine if the effects suffered by the spatial stay could mean a risk to health. To verify that the modification is effective and at what level it has occurred, Scott's brother, also an astronaut, has remained on Earth as a control group. The surprise is not that there are changes in DNA, something usual and expected, but that they seem to be permanent and irreversible. According to the first DNA analysis, Scott increased the length of its telomeres, the ends of chromosomes, and decreased the levels of DNA methylation. On the other hand, the first study also found that Scott grew up to 5 centimeters during his space adventure, all due to microgravity, which stretches the spine. And now new analysis reveal that Scott's genes have undergone variations from his brother's. As explained by NASA, about 7% of Scott's genes have undergone a permanent modification during the 340 days that Kelly has spent on the International Space Station, the ISS. Specifically, the astronaut has seen modified genes associated with bone formation, the absence of oxygen, and the immune system. Genes that, after a year in space, are completely different from those of their twin brother, born with identical DNA. And throughout this year that he was in space, NASA was to offer the final results of the research, which looks askance at the new space stage, which aims to colonize Mars. So how about it? Is it good for humans to spend time in space or not? And this is on Infinity Explorers by Ansha Vastava. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. My Patreon account, the daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.